Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CSGO Clutch Podcast. My name is Adam Coe, and I am your host. Joining me by the rested, refreshed, returning Dan Welch. Dan, you let me play art yesterday. Why?
Adam, I'm sorry, but I totally would have gotten you off art.
Well, last time you get a night off for a while. I'm totally kidding. How you doing? You ready for the slate?
I'm good, man. Let's do it.
Excellent. As always, first thing we're going to do is we're going to review the winning lineup from the previous day. We had a two-way tie for first place. And 3-3. Folks, I mentioned this yesterday on the pod. 2 game slate strategy. 3-3 is usually the way to go. And if not, like I said, I don't mind a 3-2-1. We'll get into that. We have simple on the slate. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Dan, I'm surprised Team Liquid lost. They need to stop playing.
I
They need to stop playing Vertigo.
um,
Fallen is not good at Vertigo. Fragging wise.
it is a it's a tough map for oppers for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, Nico also, for what it's worth, didn't do that good on Vertigo either. It's, it's not a good opping map.
Unless you're Cadian.
Listen, that's fair. Cadian has some stellar performances on Vertigo, but Nico sure loved Dust 2. I think he had 22
Oh
frags
yeah.
on Dust 2. So, and you know the one thing interesting about Nico, considering we had, so for everyone out there, in case you're not watching and you're just listening, Captain Nico Captain Nico was the winning captain, paired with Hunter and Amanek, and then it was a 3-man stack of Fury as well, K. Serrato, Yuri, and Vinny. I'll get into my rant on Vinny in a second. But first, let's talk about Nico. The one thing interesting watching Nico play, remember, he's playing a hybrid role. You know the one gun he's been using, which has been very interesting, and a lot of people really haven't used it since it got nerfed last year, is the Krieg. And for those of you out there, the Krieg is, I'm going to go in here real quick. So we'll just go Wikipedia. Wikipedia? There we go. Wikipedia.net. And I'm just going to go in here. So the Krieg it's the terrorist version of the AUG. Dan. Terrorist version of the AUG. And
Yep.
I personally like the weapon, but it got nerfed end of last year, or sometime last year. I think before we all started watching it. Why do I? Hang on. There we go. That's better. All right, weapons, rifles. The SG553. I would have butchered that name. So this is otherwise known as the Krieg. If you hear announces, oh, he's got the Krieg. It's this gun. It's just the terrorist version of the AUG. Like, this is a weapon Brolan used to use a ton. And the one thing interesting, Dan, is Nico's using this gun more and more, which I find very interesting. This gun fits his hybrid style of play. It's still a rifle, but still a sniper, just like the AUG is. It's just obviously not as powerful as the AUG and not as strong as an M4 and a AK. So, what do you think? Because I think Nico using this weapon makes him really interesting for that hybrid role.
I mean, yeah, I think it fits his mo. I mean, I like him opping better just because of the potential for high kills. And I'm not familiar with what it was like prior to the nerfing. So I don't know how much it was affected or impacted by that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. I mean, I like playing Nico, and today he was in one of my single entries. He was like 27% owned, which was crazy.
Well, Nico was pretty expensive. And when you factor in the fact, again, I said this yesterday in the podcast, Hunter is the best play on G2. He just is. He's been the best play on G2 for a while. I think pretty much you could say since Nico joined. Yes, Hunter has his ups and downs, but more recently, pretty much in 2021, he's been more consistent of a higher fragger for this team. Almanac. This dude is the number 3 on the team.
Agreed.
I mean, I wouldn't go out the outright 3. Jax is probably still the 3. Or Nexa, but never fade Almanac. I'm not doing that anymore. If you're MMEing, you get Almanac exposure. 100%. This guy can go off, and he's... So, for example, a map like Dust 2. Nico opts on either mid, maybe he goes B. I've seen Almanac go B a lot with the double op. He's helping to anchor B on CT side, Dust 2. He's going to be someone we're really going to have to consider going forward for G2 stacks. Look at the percentage owned. 9.5% owned on a 2-game slate.
Yeah, it's a little low.
Yeah,
It's a bit low.
Very much so.
But most people were off. I mean, I didn't think that. I mean, Hunter was high owned, or more high than I thought he would be. I didn't think that everyone would be on G2, or anyone would
I
be on
was
G2 for that.
surprised. I thought G2 would have been the leverage.
Yeah,
Bummer
I mean,
that
45 is pretty high.
yeah. Bummer that Team Liquid got bounced. Dan, I went over my playoff predictions yesterday. And before we get to today's slate, I'd like to go over yours. So I went over who I thought would win what games yesterday, and I had Team Liquid going pretty far. But Furia, I said it yesterday. My favorite stack on the slate: K. Serrato, Yuri, and Vinny.
Nice, good call.
Can I go off on Vinny now?
Yeah, sure. I'm here.
Where did this come from? 73 frags? Are you kidding me? Where did this come from? 73, 8, and 48. Vinny thought he was Zywu.
Nuke and Inferno. That's where it came from.
Yeah, Vinferno. He had over 20 frags on every map. So, I have Vinny's stats out here. 26 and 20 on Nuke. 22 and 13 on Vertigo. 25 and 15 on Vinferno.
Oh, he did good on Vertigo too. Oh no shit. So yeah, he was the ace.
Dan, this is BS.
Well, what's concerning is that he was plus 20. What is it? 25? Plus
He
25?
was plus 25.
And what was his score? His flex score?
80. Excuse me. 82 and a
7.
half.
Doesn't that seem low for plus 25? Like his bonus potential is just not existent.
Well, he had 1 4K. He's not the type of. He's not a Nico. He's not a Simple. He's not a Zywu. He's not even a Hunter or a K. Serrato. He's not known for the bonuses. But he was 6,200.
Right.
And he bleeping smashed. He went he went ham. So, it's someone in the main event Discord that you and I were a part of, or a couple of people. I think it was Kyle and Pappy. Mentioned that Vinny does well against non-elite teams. So, again, from watching him play, he doesn't... I don't know if his role is entry. I don't know if his role is support. I don't exactly know what Vinny's role is. But there's a lot of red here. And even if I go to the last 3 months, there's a lot of red here. Not many positives. So, if we take a look at just over the last month of play, I was really interested in this. They've played 6 matches. He did great. Was plus 12 against Team 1. Minus 7 against Navi. Plus 12 again against MIBR. Minus 13 against Cloud9. Minus whatever, what is this? Minus 15 against Gambit. Plus 25 against FPX. So, non-top tier opponents, he does good. Against top tier opponents, Gambit negative, Navi negative. This was a little bit more different. Again, now it's only 30 frags. It's a little different when you look at the kill to death differential. They could kind of get taken out of context. You're still looking at numbers. Cloud9.
Do me a favor.
Even against
Look at it.
Cloud9.
What's his impact rating? I'm sorry
No,
to
you're good. Let's take a look. Vinny over the last month of play has a 1.06 impact rating, 1.11 rating overall, 76.9 ADR with a .68 KPR. He has got a 72.9 kill to assist, I believe is what that stat is.
Yeah, so that, I mean, in my mind, that basically means he's either mopping up or like just going off against, like you showed, like not the best teams. But I mean, you could probably just say that he does well in wins too, and I think that's the case.
I don't think he does well in wins. I think he does well against bad opponents. Sorry, not bad opponents, non-elite opponents. I'd be really
Yeah,
interested to
but
see what his role is on this team right now. But that's besides the point.
well, I mean, on Inferno, he plays the top of banana, and then in Nuke he plays at the door. So
Yeah, but
um,
so every
those
spot is
can be
every spot is different in every round of Counter Strike. For example, if Vinny's playing by Squeaky Door up on top A site on Nuke, and I'm on the T side, and he's on CT side, and I take my entire team outside down secret. Sure, he can come down vent, but I have an entire team of 5. If we clear secret to vents, ready and waiting to frag him as he comes down the ladder in vents.
but
So it's every round is different. It's much more than just stats. There's a lot of strategy that goes into every single round, and you can never predict another round. Sure, you can have your strategies and everything, but you can't predict that. But what's an indicator is talent. We know Vinny has it. It's just he's so hit or miss. He's good. Like this is clearly a ceiling performance from him. Do not expect 73, 8, and 48 every single time he goes out. We can't expect that out of
no,
Nika. like,
no, no.
let's just keep that in perspective. This also, by the way, was over 3 maps. That should have never gone 3 maps. FPX
Mm,
should have they won.
they're pretty
That's
good on Nuke. Their
yeah,
T side Nuke is elite in my mind.
yeah. And Nuke is a very CT sided map.
Yeah,
There were some people that are coming out now saying it's more even, or like you have to have a really good T side on Nuke. Period. Train is the
yeah,
heaviest CT sided map. Excuse
right.
me. So yeah, Train's the heaviest CT sided map. Nuke is number 2. All right. So let's get into the slate. So congratulations to YCMMAT 1, 2. So YCMMAT had tied for first, solo third, solo fourth, tied for sixth, tied for 10th, tied for 13th, tied for 18th. Crushed. Congrats, and the Mockingbird as well. Also, 2 lineups in the top 10. One tied for first, one tied for sixth. Fantastic. Congrats to everyone. Let's take a look at today's slate.
Let's do it.
So yeah, congrats to those 2. Big, big day for them. All right. Dan, this slate's not going to take long. We
Yeah,
might actually be able to make this a 20-minute podcast. This is not going to be difficult. First game on the slate, Virtus Pro versus Ents. Dan?
yeah.
Exactly. All
I mean, who's the
five, all
cheapest ends?
five Virtus Pro are in play. Yeah, all 5 Virtus Pro are in play. It's a 2-game slate. I just don't have
Yeah,
much faith in Kickert or
yeah, yeah.
Sanji.
Yeah, no. I like Buster again tomorrow.
Yep,
Because I know we're gonna get Train and Dust too, and he has pretty good stats on those too. So, um, and for the price,
yep. All right. So with that being said, you need salary differential if you're going to play Simple or some of these other expensive players. Yakindar and
yep.
Jame are my 2 core plays for the slate. Do you
Oh
agree?
hell yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, folks, core plays are out of the way with. Um, this is relatively simple. If you're playing MME, you get exposure to everyone on Virtus Pro. If you are doing a couple of lineups, heavy on your Kinder, Jame, and Buster, in my opinion. Because Navi and Complexity is going to be very close, in my opinion. That is where you can make your lineups different. I'm
Let's hope
fading
so.
Ents.
I mean, maybe like what is Alu's price? 6,000. I mean,
I'm
maybe a
fading everyone
one-off.
on Ents.
I'm just trying to make the Spinks maybe like a one-off, but I mean not in single entry. There's no way.
Nope.
Um,
If you want to take 5 to 20% exposure to Ents in large field GPPs in an MME format, I'm okay with it. I'm not going more than 20% in an MME on anyone on Ents.
yeah.
It's Virtus Pro. They're my favorite team stack. They are one of the easiest calls. I have Virtus Pro getting very far in this in the playoffs. They have looked like one of the best teams in the world. They're just they look like a juggernaut. Why? Because they have the cheat code Yakindar there, and second cheat
hmm
code in Jame there. Yakindar is not fair, man. It's not fair.
I know. I know.
There is an
He's
argument for
too
him
good.
this year if he keeps this up, top 5 in the world. There's an argument to be made if Yakindar keeps this up all year. So, I think that well, Ents isn't the most aggressive team. I don't think that matters. I think Virtus Pro is too good. I
Get
think
and
Virtus Pro win 2-0.
sorry.
You're good. What's up, bud?
Yeah. No, just for a comparison, what is your Kinder's impact rating? Just to see how it's different from
Having
somebody like
me
Vinny.
do work, Dan. I I
I think
charge
it's like
extra for that.
1.5. I think it's like something ridiculous.
I charge extra for this work. I'm kidding. Let's go. All right,
Oh,
Yakindar
it's too bad you can't
is.
gift DK dollars.
That'd be nice. Yakinder has a 1.29 impact rating. Oh, it's all time. Hang on.
Oh
Online.
yeah, over the last month.
I'm getting there. He
One
has.
point.
He's got a 1.57 impact rating over the last 3 months. Just look at the stats. He's got a 1.29 rating, a 1.57 impact rating. He has a kill to death ratio of 1.2. He has an ADR of 92.5 for reference.
The man's insane.
For reference.
Even yeah, like this is good.
These are Zywu stats over the last 3 months.
He's better than
Zywu has a
Zywu.
1.24 rating with a 1.33 impact rating. Zywu has a kill to death ratio of 1.29, an ADR of 81. You don't expect really much more than that out of an opper. I mean, it's the op,
Yeah.
which is fine. Like they are gonna have high ADRs. Um, he's got a KPR of 0.8. All right, here's your Kindar stats. Yes, he's got a little bit of a higher DPR than Zywu. His cast isn't up there, but it's
Like
somewhat closer. He's something else. He's a cheat code right now. So we're done with this game unless you get anything else to talk about.
no, that was good. I like that perspective.
I mean, again, they're two completely different roles. Yakinda's a rifler, Zyru's an opera. They're two different roles. But
Yeah.
just like for context, we think of Zyru as the number one player in the world, and those are Yakindar stats. Oh boy. Like I said, there's an argument to be made for him in the top 5 this year if he keeps these kind of stats up and this kind of gameplay up. All right, let's just take a look at the odds real quick before we
Yeah.
get into Navi versus Complexity, our second game here on the slate. We're gonna go over here to leagues. We're gonna go over here to Pro League. Virtus Complexity versus Navi. This is a little surprising to me. Navi come in as a minus 181 favorite. Complexity is a plus 148 underdog.
So you think it's too close?
I don't think it's close enough. I think it's going to be closer than
Yeah.
this. Complexity not getting enough respect, in my opinion.
Okay.
Virtus Pro is a minus 361 favorite against Sense. Just saying. Ents is a plus
Yeah.
279 underdog. That being
That
said,
doesn't seem right.
Na'Vi versus Complexity, final game here on this 2-game slate. Simple as $10,000. What are you doing with Na'Vi on the slate?
Probably. I mean, probably gonna fade most of Navi except for Simple, and I might even fade Simple in my single entry.
That's fair. So
Yeah, but
again,
you know what? I'm worried. I'm worried that I think the
mhm,
last slate that Simple was on, his ownership was pretty low.
mhm,
I mean, relative to like a Zaiwu.
mhm.
Um, so I'm worried that a lot of people will take that strategy. So maybe playing Simple is a good idea
I'm
for
playing
single
simple. I'm
entry.
not getting cute.
Yeah, yeah, it's probably smart.
So remember how I talked about earlier? A 3-3 is usually the way to go, and
Hmm.
usually, for a 2-game slate, we saw it win today's slate. Um, for this slate, Dan, what's my rule? What's my rule about runbacks? You have to be one of two people.
Simple and Zaiwu.
Zaiwi.
Zaiwi.
um,
Ziwu.
there you go. I'm not getting cute. If I can fit simple, I'm playing simple.
Yeah,
The question is can you fit him if you're playing 3 Virtus Pro? That's what we
sure.
got to figure out in the slate. Um,
You got JKS and Rush down there for 5,000, 5,400, and 4,800.
yep. So on the I agree with you on Navi. It's only simple for me. If you want to play someone from Navi other than that, it's electronic. I can't recommend anybody else. Mix up
Yeah.
your ownerships to Boomage and Perfecto.
Perfecto's kind of cheap. I bet I could see him going super low owned.
Possibly.
I
Not
mean, he's
playing
got the
Flamey,
potential.
not playing Bit. Both of these
No.
teams like Nuke. Um, Bit plays Nuke. I'm not getting cute. Um, it's simple, electronic, and figure it out. Now, on the complexity side of things, things where things get interesting. If Navi is going to be chalk, I said this the other day on my prediction, Dan. I said complexity was going to beat Navi. I'm sticking to it. I think complexity win 2-1. If I had to guess at maps without looking at stats, I'd guess Mirage. I'd guess Nuke. Um, I don't know about a third map. Maybe an Overpass. Maybe a Dust 2. I can see them being one of the two. So, with that being said, who on complexity do you like?
All of them, especially only Rush because of the price. JKS because of the price. Config because I've seen him go absolutely crazy on Mirage. Poison, seen him go crazy on Nuke.
Poison
And
has an
and Blame
insanely
F.
high ceiling on any time he enters a server.
Yeah, they, that that is also very true. And then Blame F for obvious reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, everybody.
So, for anyone that doesn't know, Blamef is more than just an elite rifler. He's also the IGL for complexity. So, Dan and I have talked about before about different kinds of IGLs, right? So, like, for example, an IGL like Kerrigan, who is the second best IGL in the world, in my opinion, he's not known as a high fragging IGL. He's more of a passive information gatherer, strategist, right? Blamef and Cadian are two of the high fragging IGLs. All right? Is an aggressive IGL. And I think he's the most aggressive IGL in Tier 1 Counter-Strike. With that being said, that makes Art very boom a bust. Because he saw today,
Yep.
It was a bust. And
Bust.
I'm watching his gameplay, and Art's just doing his thing again on Nuke, just running head first into the yard and just going just way out there, and then just gets picked off. I think he had 5 frags on Nuke. This is like he's an aggressive IGL, but he also likes to gather information. Furio as a team are aggressive, but he likes to be the information gatherer too, which is fine. That's part of the some IGL's responsibilities. They like gathering the information for the rest of their team. Doesn't mean Art can't frag. It just means he's very boom bust. I like Blame F for this slate, but he's not a core for me on complexity. Config is until I see otherwise. Blame F, while he had an insane 2020, has cooled off towards the end of last year. Cooled off this year. Config's been the better player, in my opinion.
Agreed. Definitely.
Config is $6,200.
So
I
cheap.
have no problem captaining Config on this slate.
I think I'm going to make that change right now.
There you go. I like it. I got my bold prediction for you there, Mr. Welch.
Okay, let's hear it.
Captain JKS is going to be the highest scorer on the slate. Actually, I take that back. Captain JKS is going to win somebody a tournament. Not the highest scorer. He is $5,400. If JKS goes out and is plus 10 anything, he could very well be optimal. Maybe not as captain, but if he goes out and is vintage JKS that we saw in 100 Thieves versus Na'Vi, and again, this is a Na'Vi team that, simple. It's you and 4 of the people. Okay. Simple Electronic and 3 other people. At least for stat-wise and DFS purposes. If we get a vintage JKS performance and he goes, let's just say plus 20, he's going to crush at probably little to no ownership in the captain spot. And at that point, you could fit. Let me just show you real quick. Let's just make a fake lineup here. Ready? Here's Captain
Yep.
JKS. I'm going to pair him with Config. Simple. Let's go back to all games. Yukindar. Oh, sorry. Yukindar. James. I can't get the Buster. I can get the Kicker. It works. That's possible.
Shoot. Yeah, I kind of want Buster.
I do too. But again, you don't have to get all these guys, right? Like you could go different ways. You could go Sanji. You could try maybe getting off a simple, go to electronic, and you could get a bust. Like you can go different things, but like Captain JKS frees up a lot of stuff. So.
Oh, absolutely.
With that being said, anything else on Na'Vi complexity?
No.
Core value GPP play segment of the show. Dan.
Core Yakinder. Value. I'm gonna go with Mr. JKS. GPP. I'm gonna go with Buster.
I like it. Dan and I agree on a core. Yukindar, James. That's my 2 core plays. Value play, JKS. I agree. Value play also, config, 6,200. Why?
Yeah.
Too cheap. GPP play, config.
Config is the play.
I'll give you
For
one
sure.
other. It's a 2-game slate. I will agree. Buster as well. GPP play. Dan, can we
Yes, sir.
just both agree our favorite team stack is Virtus Pro?
Yeah, definitely.
Is your favorite team stack
I
Virtus Pro?
mean, yes, definitely.
Okay. I was gonna say, if your favorite team stack isn't Virtus Pro, this podcast is about to get a whole lot longer. I'm kidding. So Dan and I both really like Virtus Pro as a favorite team stack. I gave you my bold prediction. I think Captain JKS is going to win someone at GPP. Dan, what's your bold prediction?
That Rush is the top fragger for complexity.
That's
It
how
can
you want
happen.
to end the show, sir? I understand it's bold predictions. This ain't the Insane Prediction podcast or the Insane Prediction part of the show.
Gotta be
That,
bold, Adam. Gotta
that
be
is,
bold.
kind sir, that is very bold. Okay, you threw me off, man. I'm all rattled. I don't know how to end the podcast.
Compose yourself, Adam.
I don't know what to say. He's picking Rush. No, I'm kidding. Folks, thank you for tuning in and listening to the CSGO Clutch podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment down below, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell to make sure you all know every single time one of the podcasts drop. We will be back for the Sunday round 2 top half playoffs. It's top half playoffs. Excuse me. Nope. Playoffs round 2. Dan, next week, quarterfinals, semis, grand final, ESL Pro League almost over.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Dan.
It's hard to believe it's already been 2 months or whatever. Yes,
Yeah.
Adam.
You ready?
Ready.
All right. Complexity or Navi? Give us your ESL Pro League Season 13 playoff picture. We already know Furia and G2 are in.
I know this is gonna be contradictory to what my DFS plays are, but I'm gonna say Navi.
Okay, Virtus Pro Rents?
Really?
I was going to say, do I have to ask?
Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro, all right. Furia or G2? I didn't see this coming.
That's a tough one, but G2.
G2? Okay, I'm going to go Furia. I had Team Liquid beating Fury, I believe, and going on to play Gambit, and I had Gambit winning, so they would have only lasted one more round, but Team Liquid are just so much fun to watch. Navi or Virtus Pro? The battle of the CS region. Navi or Virtus Pro? Virtus Pro. All right, play-in stage. Heroic or Nip?
Heroic.
Gambit or
Actually,
Astralis?
oh man.
Right? Right?
Oh man. I'm. That's tough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Gambit though, just because they're. I mean, they're fresh. You know, they're looking good. Astralis, they're kind of old.
They are
But maybe
most certainly not kind of old.
for Counter Strike ages, they're old. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Gambit.
Yeah. All right. So and you're picking Heroic?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we know that the play-in stage for these folks does not mean it's a single elimination for them. So that means you have Astralis losing. It'll be Astralis versus G2 for you. Who you picking?
Astralis.
Okay. And since you have Nip losing, Nip's going to go on to face Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro.
Okay. Heroic versus Astralis.
Astralis.
Why'd you do that to me? All right. Gambit versus Virtus Pro. The rematch of IEM Katowice 2021.
Gambit.
Oh, look, we see this again. Astralis versus Gambit. Grand Final, ESL Pro League Season 13. Who is winning
Gambit.
it all? I like
Gambit.
it. Gambit is winning it all. Folks, thank you for tuning in here to the Counter-Strike CSGO Clutch podcast. People have already probably turned this podcast off anyway. I could say we're giving everyone $5,000 and no one's here listening. But for those of you that are listening, we're not giving away any money. But we thank you for listening this long. Thank you all for tuning into the CSGO Clutch podcast. Follow Dan on Twitter at Wandelch, Wandelch. You can follow me on Twitter at AdamWX21. And now that you've listened this long, by sometime next week, Dan, you ready? I haven't even told you this yet. We will have an official Twitter handle and Twitter account for the CSGO Clutch podcast.
No. Nice.
More news on that to come. Excuse me. With that being said, I need to go have a drink of water. For Dan,
I need to go
I'm
to
Adam.
bed.
Oh,
Good night. Good night.
good night, everybody. For Dan, I'm Adam. Good luck on this slate. Latest, peoples.